Welcome back, dear viewers. This is Mavry, and you are now watching with me Assassin's Creed Episode 9. So, in the next episode of this current arc, I guess we will continue to find out whether or not Kufa and Rossetti are actually related some way. Are they related with the events that happened, numerous years ago? So I forgot the exact time, sorry about that. And are my predictions true, or I'm gonna look like a idiot that doesn't know what he's talking about, right? I mean, that is equally possible, but I have a very big sneaking suspicion that that is the case. They are related in some sort of way, potentially even siblings. Although I wouldn't hold my breath on that. However, we do have a bigger problem right now, and that is Kufa's little secret has now been found out by Marita, so he's got a lot of explaining to do. Let's see how Marita handles the situation. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Alright, you're caught red-handed, boy. Hmm? Huh, you can do that? Well, that's not really... Of course, obviously, that's not going to happen, right? Anyways, let me skip this real quick. See you guys in a second. And back. A long, forged contract. Or the ancient contract. Something like that. I'm talking about the title of the episode. Hmm? I thought they were literally going to kiss right there. Oh. Well, okay. Oh wait, it was on a cheek? Flashback? Is that Kufa? Your beloved imminent miasma. Right, so it was him that caused the... Right, that is Kufa. Oh wait, he was already a half-lycanthrope? Who are you? Nice. Wait, isn't this the guy who... Huh. So he's not a bad guy? Huh. Okay. So Kufa and Rossetti are sort of related in a way. I mean, Kufa was the one who turned Rosa into a vampire. Neat. But at the same time, though, I had thought that Kufa was actually turned into a vampire because of the experiments with the night gene factor. But apparently not. Ah, okay. Oh, so that's how Kufa entered this organization. Wait, so Kufa knew all along who Rosa was? Okay, did you two have, like, big brother? I guess he was sort of like the big brother figure towards her while they were both orphans, something like that. I think to her this is more like flirting in a way. Huh. So that lantern from... Oh, it's that dude? It's the spider dude? Well, alright. Okay, but where were you for the past 2 episodes? Oh, so that means he's... So it's hard for him to control his transformation right now. Right. Okay. Okay, I guess they're going to... What? Is that really a good thing to be saying? All right. So she's literally just trying to... What kind of provocation is this? What? I have no words. So that all that was just so... Oh my god. No, must resist urge to roast this. Oh. She almost turned her into a vampire. And now is about when Kufa's gonna come out, right? Like I said. Hmm. I mean, for being such a... for such a high tide, you were certainly defeated rather easily last time. Mm. Ooh. One from below, one from above. Just with bare hands? Alright. He's got backup. But he's like, is he going to? Yep, he's going to. Yeah. Aw, that's so sad. So Kufa always knew who Rose was? Hmm. That's... Hmm. Then why did he act so cold towards her? Right. Again, he's trying to research the night gene factor in order to... Right, save one of his loved ones, so it is his wife. I guess it wasn't quite reviving her from death, but reversing her transformation. Huh. Is that so? So that was what was handed off to him. Damn. But Okay, he's sort of like his foster father in a way. But shouldn't he have to atone for his sins in killing all the No, okay. Okay, yeah. Let me guess. There's a scene where Rosa is gonna sit next to Kufa here. I mean, you can tell her. You basically told the entire school class. Hey, like I said. Aww. You know, more than anything, I am... More than anything... I actually feel a lot more empathetic towards Rose. I'm sorry. I gotta say, I am more in the Kufa and Rossetti ship. Like, I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. But anyways, I think this is the end right now. So, see you guys in a second. Alrighty, so this arc did turn out more or less the way that I predicted, right? So Kufa and Rose did have some sort of prior relationship prior to this, or some kind of relation, I mean. So in this case, it's more like, I guess, foster siblings in a sort of way. I mean, they're in the same orphanage, so they have this sort of brother, sisterly love towards each other. Might have turned into something more if this was another anime, but here, I guess, it can only continue to be a sort of brotherly and sisterly love here. And Blossom was indeed responsible for the event that happened 7 years earlier to this, and it was the result of him trying to do some experimentation on the Night Gene in order to save his loved one, which in this case turned out to be his wife, right? And Rosa did turn into a vampire courtesy of Kufa. So all this was pretty much as expected. Not really any big surprise there for me. I feel like the signs were pretty obvious out there. So I guess in the end they didn't actually turn out to be siblings. So, but at the same time, it's not too far from it, right? I'd say I would give myself a pat on the back on that one. Now, there were a few things that I was surprised by, and in retrospect, it kind of made sense as well, but I didn't expect that. Anyways, so first of all, Kufa was already a half vampire before that event. I thought that was literally the event that turned him into a half vampire, but apparently not so. He was already a half vampire when he was brought into the orphanage by Blossom. So we might have even more of Kufa's backstory in the future as well, dealing with him, his mom, and potentially, since he is a half vampire, I'm guessing his father might be a vampire, question mark, something related to that. And also that Kufa was recruited into the guild as a result of this incident, right? As sort of the condition for him and Rose being able to continue to live on in this world. Now, with that said, however, one quick question. So, Kufa promised that he would look after Rose, and yet it seemed that he met Rose by chance in episode 1, or were the guild literally working with him to allow them to meet up with each other? But that doesn't really make sense, right? Because how can Kufa continually keep watch over Rose when they've never met before? It's not like they're working in the same organization or whatnot, right? So did Kufa literally always ask his missions to be somewhere near Rose was? Otherwise, I feel like he's maybe not quite keeping up with that promise here. And also, why was he so cold to her? Or, sort of endearing and gentlemanly to her in one episode, and then suddenly being so cold and so, so unfamiliar, giving off the sense of unfamiliarity to her in the next episode, right? Was it because he didn't want to get too close to her and risk her regaining memories or whatnot? But, we never were given any sort of hint in the previous episodes that Kufa actually knew of Rose, in a sense. So, I don't know what's going on there. But I feel like maybe some hints being dropped here and there might have been a little bit more... it would have given us a little bit, at least it would give me, a sort of sense of, oh, hey, yeah, the author dropped a lot of hints over here that this is going to happen in the future, and that would make the whole thing fun, right? This kind of foreshadowing here. So yeah, and that was just a tangent. So more on the episode. The plan to draw out the enemy, honestly, I thought it was pretty ridiculous, but whatever. If it works, it works. I'm not gonna roast it too much. I think just looking at my reaction, you guys will know how ridiculous I thought that whole entire scene was. But whatever, right? Now, I will give it credit for the ending. I thought the ending was pretty damn reasonable. So Blossom did get his wish in the end, so it turned out to be a happy ending because his wife was revived. Kufa was also able to repay his debts to Blossom. Now, I certainly didn't expect him to be to be indebted to him because of his kindness of taking him in, or it could be possible that Blossom was just taking him in as more experiment fodder, right? That also is a possibility. But in any case, Kufa did repay his debts to him, so, this whole part of his past is sort of, we can shut the book on that now. And then, in the end, justice was still served, right? Blossom still turned himself in to the authorities. Justice is going to be carried out. He's still going to atone for his sins of killing off these random villagers, right? So, I feel like that kind of ending is pretty reasonable and about the best you can make out of this situation, right? If it was a case where Blossom got off scot-free or whatnot, or maybe his wife was never revived, then I would feel like that those would have some incompleteness to them, if you will, in terms of the story. And of course, not every story needs to have a perfect happy ending, of course, but I feel like in terms of for this anime, for this work, why not, right? Now, with that said, one part I kind of agree with, but, it is sad for me, and that is Rose having her memories sealed again, right? I mean, I guess that needed to happen, especially combined with Kufa's promise to the guild and whatnot, so it would make sense for her to have her memories sealed, and it'll also help keep the dynamic of the group that they've established so far, and the relationship between Kufa and Rose. But at the same time, though, combined with what Rose was saying at the very end there, this might mark the first time in this series that I actually felt a bit emotional towards one of the characters, right? It's so sad to, hear about Rose's dream about, becoming famous and then being able to attract, the person that she loves, the person that she cares about, her big brother from her childhood, and yet that's never going to happen, right? At least in terms of Rose's perspective, right? Of course, you could argue that Kufa is already beside her and whatnot, but it's not really the same. I'm talking about from Rosetti's perspective here. She's never going to be able to really fulfill that wish within her, right? So I felt that was quite sad on her part, and especially since Kufa, I don't know, he doesn't really seem to be all that interested in playing the big brother part as of right now, I gotta say. So, sad for Rose. And I mean, I'll be completely honest, I kinda ship Kufa Rose more than Kufa Marita, right? I mean, flame me all you want, but that's just my true feelings. But yeah, and I guess one final question I have is, so if the entire reason of Rose's memories having to be sealed is that she could control her thirst for blood, why is it that Kufa can control his thirst for blood so well? Like, what is the difference between them? Or are we going to say that Kufa is actually always in a perpetual state of pain because he can't drink blood or something? But if Kufa can do it, couldn't Rose also be trained to do that as well? In a certain way, or maybe Kufa has some other abilities that he has that it makes him still a little bit different from Rose in the first place. Which, if that is the case, I guess we'll learn more once we get into Kufa's actual backstory once again, right? So there we go. That is episode 9 of Assassin's Pride, and that is the end of this arc. I feel like the arc started off pretty intriguing for me. I did like the sort of mystery solving and the sort of all the different elements and whatnot. I feel like in the middle part it kind of turned back into the ridiculousness and cringiness of the dialogue once again, but at least we got a good ending and we got a nice little backstory to the characters, right? So I guess overall I am pretty happy with this arc. There we go. That's my review of episode 9 of Assassin's Pride. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.